Good? What's good? We back live. One and only Paul Pickett, host of the Paul Pickett podcast, aka Triple P. So earlier today, we had Nathan Reaper Rivera from the co-main event in BKFC Fight Night Nashville. Now we're about to bring on one of the opponents for the featured fight for BKFC Fight Night Nashville. He's 6-3, looking to go to 7-3. We'll be fighting June 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern Time. BKSC Fight Night Nashville as the featured fight versus Angel Hernandez. Let's bring on the one and only Bobby ODB Taylor. Bobby, how you doing, man?
I'm doing good, Paul. How are you?
I'm doing good, man. So let's start here. What's ODB stand for, man?
It come from the Wu-Tang Clan back in the day,
That's
the
what I
old dirty
thought.
bastard.
That's what I
Yeah, I got
thought.
it got put on me in college by a buddy. It was Old Dirty Bob. That kind of came out. Then I started fighting after that, and I was like, well, I might as well go roll with that. So it just kind of
Oh
stuck.
yeah, that's crazy, man. I figured it had something to do with the old dirty bastard from the Wu-Tang Clan.
Yeah, we were getting ready to go out one night, and one of my buddies got up and said, "Come on, ODB." And I was like, "Old Dirty Bob," and shit, I've been that ever since.
Do most of the fans know that?
I don't know. I seem like I've told it on one before or at
Okay.
some point, but hell, I don't remember. I think they
So
probably wasn't listening to me anyways.
okay. Okay. So you had an MMA background, correct?
Yes, yes, what I
What,
started out in.
what can you tell us about your MMA background?
Uh, Man, I was roughly 500, and yeah, like I said, I kind of just jumped into it. I was had like 10 amateur fights, but I was 3 fights deep in my pro career before I ever actually even joined the gym. Man, I knew a guy that fought, and I was just in really good shape, and said, "Hey, man, give me some fights." And I did my
Hmm.
amateur career and a couple of pro fights without actually being, in an MMA gym. I trained with some buddies, but I like I said, I just kind of dove into it and decided I just figured it out as I went.
Now, how did you end up transitioning into bare knuckle?
Well, I was and I take that back. I got into MMA the Underwoods. I don't know if you know Jake and Zach. They're out of Memphis. The Underwoods. Uh,
Okay.
Zach fought on a couple of Bellator cards, I believe, but they're the ones that actually got me into competing into into the sport itself. And but where was I going with that? Oh yeah, well I said I got into the MMA and it was going okay, and I got into a little lull and couldn't get a fight.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, man, how about a boxing match? And then I got a
Mm-hmm.
boxing match, and then I did that for a little while and kind of bounced back and forth. And I was actually thinking about retiring. Just I got into the sport late. I was 34 before I turned pro, so I was like, man,
Okay.
this has been fun, but I think I'll just get about that time. And then a guy Caleb Harris, Lionheart, he used to fight in BKFC. I don't know if you remember Caleb,
I've heard of him.
but he me and him had an MMA fight in Tupelo at one point, and he'd got
Mm-hmm.
into the BKFC, and they were having a fight up here. I believe it was in Oxford during COVID. They couldn't have
Okay.
any events anywhere, and Mississippi was the only place that would allow them to have events. So the BKFC came up here, and they were looking for local fighters, and Caleb Harris gave him my name. Me and him had a knockdown drag out, and he's like, "Man, I know a local guy up there that'll fight." And man, they contacted me, and been doing it ever since.
Now, do you think this sport is more fitting for you than MMA was?
Oh, definitely. Like I said, I enjoyed MMA, but I was just so far behind the curve on the jujitsu and all the other stuff. Like I said, I always had some power in my hands, but there was just so many facets of the game that I wasn't didn't have any kind of background at all until I started. But yeah, this was just right up my alley. Like I said, I kind of fell into it pretty quick, and it
So I
came
was looking
natural.
at was looking at your previous fights. I mean, you've had some tough fights, and especially with James Lilly and Jeremy Stevens. Like, what kind of lessons do you learn from fights like that?
Uh, the Lilly fight, like I said, I don't know. I had a weird camp for that when I was trying to do new stuff. Going to try to, and that's where I made my mistake. I was trying, like I said, he's a boxer, so I need to be more of this or more of that instead of bringing my style to the match and making him
Yeah,
adjust to it, which has always been my mindset. But man, you get lost in this game so much because there's so much going on. Like, well, I need to do this. Well, I need to do that. And I kind of got away from myself there for a little bit, and I just had a bad fight because I was having to think of everything I wanted to do because I was trying new stuff rather than just going in there and fighting. And that was what I learned from his fight. Dance with the one that brought you. I got to the point where I'm at by fighting my fight, and
yeah,
don't start changing now just because I got so deep. But and I criticize. I didn't say I criticize, but that was always my thing of other fighters that other fighters like in UFC, like Matt Hughes started trying to box people, and he got there by taking people down and beating them up. And then he started standing with everybody. I'm like, man, what are you doing? You're a takedown.
yeah.
Go back to that. And then I caught myself doing the same thing. So that kind of brought me back down. And not that you don't need to evolve and get better, but do what you do. And like I said, that's I'm made me want to stick with my style more after that. But that's a hard lesson learned. And
Well, that makes a lot of sense. I've interviewed a lot of guys, and I mean, y'all get so many new, up and coming opponents like making debuts. There's a lot of guys might only have one fight. You don't really know what they about. It's like everybody says you really just got to fight your fight. You can't try to just, switch for every single opponent. And you just got to go in and fight your
exactly.
fight.
Yeah, that's what I said. Just bring my fight to the show, make him adjust to it, or deal with it. But yeah, I caught myself slipping that fight, and hell, I went there thinking about boxing him, and hell, he's a better boxer than me. It was a bad call on my part in the camp. But you live and you learn, I guess.
Well, it kind of goes into my next question, anyways. Like, how do you balance the aggression with the strategy? Because sometimes if you get too aggressive, you might get caught slipping. I'm thinking.
Yeah, man, that's one of the hard parts for me. Like I said, and the aggression. You want to be aggressive, but then you want to kind of. It's a hard balance of those two things. Like I said, it's a good point, but yeah, it's hard to balance out, and that's one of the keys to a lot of fights. Is being able to balance that without going too far one way or the other. And that's like with Lily, I tried to get through technical with Lily, and I wasn't real aggressive, and that come back to bite me in the butt. And then I've had a fights where I was real aggressive, and I should have laid back, just a little enough, to do more game planning, and just and get lost in the aggression and forget my game plan, and just not even think about it. But yeah, that's one of the tricks to the game is figuring out how to do that. And I like to, yeah, I'm not good enough at it to explain how to do it yet. I'm still figuring that out myself.
So, what do you know about your opponent, Angel Hernandez? I know he had one fight against the guy on the couch.
Yeah, I know he had several boxing matches. Like I said, I forget the record now, but I want to say it was 40 plus pro fights.
Okay.
And I talked to some guys about him. Like I said, I watched his fight with a guy on the couch, and wasn't a whole lot to see in that because it was over kind of quick. But
yeah,
it looks like he comes out and comes to bang. And the people that I've talked to about him said that his plans to win or lose in the first round, or not say his plan is, but that's how a lot of his fights go. That he's going to come out strong. So like I said, I don't know a lot about him personally, but from what I've heard and the one fight that I have seen, he's gonna come out strong and try to get the show rolling.
Well, no disrespect to Rain Wells, the guy on the couch. You're gonna be a hell of a lot tougher opponent for him.
Oh yeah. I plan on stopping him in his tracks. So he's gonna try to do that to me.
So, I mean, what are you most concerned about with facing this guy?
Uh, Nothing particular to him. I mean, you're always
Yeah,
concerned about the lucky punch, but
yeah,
and I'm planning on coming out and wrecking this dude and getting this over with. And they've got me, 6-3, and he's 1-0. And then Soto's 6-3, fighting a 2-1. I mean, I ain't gonna say I don't know if disrespected is a word, but coming to more or less my hometown and having me down, he's the main event. I think a 6-3 versus a 6-3 would be a better main event than a 6-3 versus 2-1. And I've been calling. He called me out for a while till he got up to the point where he could fight me. And then I've been trying to call him out, and he's been uh, running from it. As far as I'm concerned, and
who
when they asked,
Soto?
yeah, he keeps turning. I say he
Okay,
turns it down. I don't know if they're actually offering him to him, but that's the only name I'm putting out there because he come
yeah,
back after a fight or two of mine. I'm like, yeah, I'm not impressed. Just kind of dogging me a little, not too bad, but enough that I want to prove a point. And I've been calling for him, and I hadn't got him yet. And when they asked me about this fight, they asked me who I wanted. He was the only name I put out, and I didn't even know he was on the card at the time.
yeah.
But if he's going to be on that card, and I'm going to be on the same card, man, I think that would have been a better fight. And I'm going to come out there and try to wreck this dude and show them that I was the main event material for the Nashville show. And I want the damn winner of that one if Soto gets it or if he don't. But I think I should have been in there with him on that one, and I'm gonna come out there and try to prove my point with this cat.
Yeah, I think it would have been a better fight. Now you fight out of Tennessee?
Yes, I live
Okay,
right on
well,
the Tennessee Mississippi line. I actually trained in Tupelo, Mississippi, and I've trained
okay.
in Memphis for years. Like I said, I started out in Memphis with MMA, and as I got to the bare knuckle, that's when I kind of transitioned to the Tupelo gym. So I trained at Tupelo, but I live in Tennessee.
And the other guy, he's not from Tennessee at all, is he? The JC De Leon or whatever.
No, honestly, I don't know where he's from. I don't think he's from Tennessee.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I get
so
your beef. Like you
yeah,
wanna, you should have a Tennessee, like some Tennessee guys on the main
yeah,
event, or at least one Tennessee guy, I would think.
yeah. I mean, Soto, I guess it's kind of close because he's one of the
He's in North
Carolinas.
Carolina. That's where I'm
Yeah,
at, North
I
Carolina.
think he's in Carolina, but yeah, like I said, he's coming off 3 straight losses. I mean, I don't know
Yeah.
how he's getting this, main event. I don't know who he's blowing, but yeah, I think that'll be a better main event, and I'm going to try to get the winner of it because I don't know. They're acting like I don't know. I'm sure my age is into the thinking like that. Well, Taylor, because I actually had a guy from the company the other day that he tried to save it with calling me a veteran, but kind of said I did all I was going to do in the sport. And I'm like, man, we've got a world champion that's my age is a heavyweight, I think. Or I
Yeah.
mean,
Yeah.
don't judge me for my age. I ain't aging like everybody else. And if you don't know it, I'll prove it. But yeah, but count me. I think they're kind of cutting me short. I'm fixing to go wake some folks up, tell them I ain't done yet.
I'm glad to hear that because I've been stressing that most of the champions are like above 40 years old. This is right now, this is an old man sport.
Yeah, well, they don't grow them like us no more. These cats coming up, they just ain't. They didn't grow up like we did. They ain't tough like this. I still hadn't been stopped, and I ain't planning on getting stopped. And I don't know what the holdup is. Just because I'm older, I'm still putting on fights, still getting fight of the night. So hell, I'm the only person to carry Jeremy Stevens to a 5th round in the weight class. I mean, Mike Perry finished him, but everybody in his weight class, he's finished in the 2nd round or by the 2nd round. Hell, I took him to a decision. I don't know why they're shortchanging me. And hell, I took his shot without a mouthpiece. I got back up, put my mouthpiece in, and kept rolling. I don't. I don't know why they kind of. I don't know if looking over me is the right word or, but yeah, I plan on opening some eyes up. I ain't done yet.
So you looking to still get a title shot
Oh
before it's
yeah,
all
yeah,
said and done.
yeah.
Yeah.
Before it's said and done, like I said, and I don't see that many people in front of me.
Yeah.
But yeah, a couple big wins. The hell, I'm right back in it. I just need the fights. Like I said, it's been a.
If it was totally up to you, how long would you fight for? I mean, because Houston Alexander, they kind of ran him out at 50.
Man, I don't want to put a number on it. I know how I feel. Like I said, I go down to the gym
Yeah.
and I bang with 20-year-olds 2 or 3 times a week, and they ain't trying to get in there. Like I said, oh yeah, let's go in there and get an easy round. I'm not the guy for the easy rounds. I don't know. Like I said, I ain't gonna put a number on it. You know, I don't want to. I know I can't do it forever, but like I said earlier, I'm not a. I don't feel like I'm aging like everybody else. I'm still ready to roll, and I still bang with these guys 2 or 3 times a week. Work out every day, run 3 miles every day. I don't feel like I've lost a step yet. So once I feel that, you know, I'll step aside. You know, I ain't gonna drag it out and start taking beatings, but you know, until I
So
feel it, I'm gonna do what I love, man. You know, one of these days I'll have to give it up, and I'll never be able to do it again. Until then, I'm riding it out.
so if this fight goes into the deep waters, where do you believe you have the edge?
Just my cardio and my toughness.
Okay.
Like I said, man, I bang all the time, and like I said, I've never been stopped, and I've had some ass whoopings in there, and you know, just keep on coming. I don't think he can stop me, and I'm in great shape. Like I said, I think if it goes in the deep rounds, it'll definitely go my way, but I don't see it going deep. I see it
So
coming
you
out and
don't
being a banger.
so you don't expect it going the distance at all.
I know, so. Nah, I don't think so. Like I said, and I'm gonna try not to let it go that way. Like I said, I'm coming out playing. I'm coming out to wreck this guy. And like I said, he talked some. I don't know when he'd messaged me. You know, when we started talking about it, he said, "Hey man, you know, I put my name out there. I heard you was looking for a fight. You know, hope we get to fight, whatever." And I was like, "Yeah, cool." I said, "Man, if they offer it, I'll say yes. I've never turned down a fight, and I ain't gonna start with you."
Yeah.
And then my manager put us, Scott, you know, looking for opponents. Well, we were looking for somebody with a little notoriety in the weight class. Not that we were ducking him by no means. I mean, hell, I'm
Yeah.
not running from 1-0. But we were looking for somebody that would, you know, bump me back up because I'm trying to, like I said, I'm not done yet.
Yeah.
And they made that post, and he come back on there, started calling me a scary ass pussy or a bitch or I can't remember what it was. Sent that post. Well, I mean, posted it. Didn't send me the message. Put it on there that I was being a little bit. And I don't know who I don't know who he's talking to, but he'll have some respect put on my name after this fight.
Yeah, apparently he didn't watch your last one. I mean, you go 5 rounds with Jeremy Stevens. I respect you a lot, dude. A
Yeah, well, I
lot.
appreciate it. But yeah, like I said, I don't know. I don't plan on this and going 5. If it goes 5, he's tougher than I thought he was. And I'm like I said, I'm coming out to wreck him and put a stop to this.
Kind of
And like
dog
I
you
said,
got over there?
I got a German Shepherd in a lab.
Okay. Yeah, I got a little dog right here. She's all scratching the rug up right now.
Yeah, so they ready to go outside.
So I ain't gonna hold you up too much longer. Like what fight in your career so far is like probably been your most proud of fight?
Uh, as far fight wise, like I said, I like my first fight. I said it was the most fun for me, the Hernandez fight,
Okay.
and and only because, like I said, I came out and was getting beat. Man, he was boxing me up pretty good for 2 rounds. I was like, man, I can't box with this guy. I've got to change it. And then I changed my strategy midway in the fight, and I'm just proud of myself for that. You know, being able to notice it, change it. You know, all of this in time because I've had a bunch of fights where I didn't do that. So I'm really glad that being my first fight was very surprising because you know I expected to be more nervous, and that was actually one of the most calm fights I've ever been in. As far as you know, mentally wise, I was relaxed, but
I think we lost him. You still there, Bobby? Think it froze up. Looked like he froze up. All right, so I think he froze up. I'll see if he's we probably gonna wrap it up, man. I appreciate him taking the time out to come on, but it does look like it still froze. Let's see. Yeah, I'm not seeing nothing. All right, we're gonna wrap it up. He will be fighting at BKFC fight night Nashville. It's just June 19th, which is like 11 days away. Gets Angel Hernandez, and he's the featured fight for the night. And I think it's gonna be a tough fight for Angel Hernandez. He fought Rain Wells, the guy on the couch. I mean, Bobby Taylor just fought Jeremy Stevens, an extremely tough opponent. I mean, so definitely going to be a really, really tough fight for him. But make sure y'all tune into that. Also, go check out the interview I just did with Nathan, the Reaper Rivera. And he's the co-main event for this same fight card as well. Let's see who tuned in earlier. Knuckles and Knives, appreciate you. Melo, appreciate you. The Viking Fighter, appreciate you. International Brawlin, appreciate you. Leah 3P, appreciate you. Anthony Yost, what up? Appreciate you. Bobby, one of the baddest dudes I honor meeting. Man, my dog tripping over here. Get your little ass out here. Appreciate that, Yost, man. Appreciate the love. I will be hitting you up soon as well. And we got my guy Byron Brooks. Check him out, comedian up in Baltimore area. And I used to work with him back down here in Vietnam, back in the Fazoli's days, back when we worked in the Fazoli's fast food Italian back in the days. The fun days, the fun days. All right, man. Appreciate Bobby Taylor taking the time out. And yep. Enjoy the rest of your night, man. Probably my last interview for the week. I got a live from Vietnam hip hop interview later this week with one of the UMCs. Some of y'all might know them from the hit record Blue Cheese. And man, my light got me looking super white. That light is bright. I gotta turn that lighting down, man. It's got me looking super white. Up. Bobby, what up?
Hey man, sorry about that.
It's all good. Before we let you go though, any shout outs you want to do, man? Any sponsors, anything?
Yeah. I want to give a shout out to my gym, the UFM, man. All those guys there helping keeping me ready. Goat Combat Agency, Scott, getting me in my fights. We got Barger Construction. I'm gonna forget about. I need to make a list of this stuff. Beach Dirty Clothing, Iron Jaw Custom Mouth Guards, Unity Health. Dang. Try Bluff City Electrical.
Okay.
Well, I'm forgetting somebody, but yeah, I need to make a list of that.
Seems like you got a good amount over there, but we're gonna be tuning in, man, for your fight, man. I'm wishing you all the best of luck. And if you ever want to come back on, please do, man. You're a friend of the show now, man.
Yeah, man, I enjoyed it. Man, yeah, just hit me up, man. I'd love to come back on.
All right. Enjoy the rest of your night, Bobby.
All right, brother. You too.
All right. Peace.
All right.
All right. We're about to wrap it up, Bobby. ODB Taylor. Like I said, BKC Fight Night, Nashville, June 19th, 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Should be on the BKFC app, probably Fubo Sports, and probably Amazon Prime as well. Normally, when they got the DAZN ones, they're only on DAZN, but when it's not on DAZN, it's usually on all three of those spots. So, and of course, they always got the free fights, the prelims. Hey, Gia, chill out, man. The prelims, which I usually get 2 to 3 fights for free on the YouTube channel and the BKFC Instagram. But shouts out to Bobby for taking the time out, man. Appreciate y'all tuning in. Shouts out to my man Yost. Check us out. Me and him be doing the recaps. We probably won't be doing a recap of next week. I think he said he'd be busy, but I will be doing it, and we'll find another fighter or two to come on as well to do the recap of this coming up fight card. And appreciate y'all tuning in. Peace, and I'm out.